something crazy has been happening. South Africa and the rest of Africa has been buzzing.
And say bye-bye poverty. Bye-bye poverty.
People have been making large amounts of money.
Not only am I a millionaire, I am now a multi-millionaire.
Amen.
New homes.
Busy. Aibo, QZ affects you. Sneezing.
New cars.
Bravo! Congratulations!
As you can see the beautiful car, we are about to unveil it in a minute. QZ! All the way!
New projects, events that are massive all over Africa. And it's all thanks to one company, QZ Asset Management. Or so they say, because there's also this. Now, are they just jealous, or are they actually onto something? Hi guys, Trade with Chantal here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As stated in the description, I will be debunking QZ Asset Management and how short-lived they will be and the massive impact that they've brought. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video because it does help with the algorithm. Now, as you all know, this isn't my usual forte. I just focus on providing quality services for my clients, students, and members. But this, ladies and gentlemen, has been heavily requested because they want to know if this is legit or a downright scam. But hang on, who is QZ Asset Management? What do they do? And why is there so much hype around them? It all starts by you receiving a WhatsApp message about an opportunity of a lifetime that you cannot miss. From here, you watch webinar
every Wednesday and every Friday.
after webinar.
Before I call on our Queen Leader Priya, I'd just like to share a brief testimony of what QZ Asset Management has done.
After webinar,
Hello everyone, I'm so glad to be here. Okay,
after webinar, and even with the CEO himself sometimes, who has the most interesting and vague ways of answering questions.
So I can hear that you're asking about our strategy on just like how we invest in S&P 500, right?
Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
So just now I did a little market update about the unemployment rate, the non-farm payroll, the hourly earning, and a lot of other variables. So these kind of variables have different correlation with the S&P 500. So all of these kind of variables are like under monitor by our robot, by our BDAI. So when there are like these kind of figures released, and then we will react to these things. Also, let me give you another example. So for VIX, how much do you know about the volatility index?
Yes,
okay,
yes. I know about derivatives. V75, V100, I also trade on it.
Okay, so that's great. So it is like the lowest point after the September 9th, and we can see there are like many different things that have correlation with the S&P 500, and our robots take all of that into account, and that's how we do such kind of strategy. Another thing is BDAI is like an algorithm. It can do self-learning, which means if we see some kind of patterns, it might learn If we don't see such a pattern as a human being, such a robot will learn. So that is the kind of strategy from the algorithm, from the program.
So it means that you are using ES to trade on S&P, and on the backer you have a team which is monitoring the trades of your ES.
Sorry, may I know what ES are you referring to? ES?
ES are the robots. You are using the robots to trade.
Robots, yes, correct.
You then get added to a group for marketers by whoever recruited you. You then attend seminars, boot camps, and so much more. And slowly but surely you get sucked into the world of QZ Asset Management by them showing you exactly what you need to see to join. To get started, you will need a link from an active member or investor, buy a package, and just like that, you're a part of this. Earlier on, we asked the question, who is QZ Asset Management? What do they do? This is Professor Blake Young. According to his biography, he has a list of qualifications. One of them includes him being a chartered financial analyst of CFA Level 3. He also claims to have a doctorate in economics that he acquired from the London School of Economics. He also claims to have a Pioneer in Finance award that he received at the FinTech Shanghai Summit in 2019. Now, let's go back to his list of qualifications. The first qualification of him being a chartered financial analyst is unclear. But the second claim that he has is that he has a doctorate that he acquired from the London School of Economics. Let's visit that list. According to the London School of Economics, they have a list of graduates who have acquired the doctorate in economics throughout history. And we didn't see his name there. Moving on to the third qualification, he claims to have the Pioneer in Finance award from the FinTech Shanghai Summit in 2019. This is the list of awards and nominations from that exact year. Pioneer in Finance, non-existent. In this interview with Asian Personalities, he claims that QZ Asset Management is a company that provides investing opportunities for individuals and third-party institutions, including cross-traditional and other asset investment-related services, professional inquiries, investment models, solutions for banks and other institutions. But before we move any forward, let's dive into Asian Personalities. Asian Personalities does not exist. Yes, you heard me right. I searched for the actual segment on the Shenzhen Financial Channel on both Google and the Chinese search engine called Baidu, and the results? Non-existent. This is Precious Priya Chiranza. She is a well-known network marketer for QZ Africa, alongside others, but we'll get to that soon. She explains it best. In the webinars, she really spells out how the investment packages actually work. The cheapest package begins from $100 and the more expensive package starts from $1,000. These packages come with some pretty big promises.
With the basic, you are coming in with $100 between $100 to $900. You will get a weekly return on investment of 3.5% on every Monday. All right. Then with the elite, the minimum is $1,000. We do not have a maximum cap, but then you will be getting 7%. So from $1,000 upwards, you are getting 7% on a weekly basis. All right. Now, both these packages, they pay you up until you make 400%. But then with the basic, it will take you 112 weeks, which is about 2 years, to make that 400%. While it's the elite package, it will take you 56 weeks, which is 1 year, 2 months, to actually accumulate that 400%.
Yep, you heard correctly. 400% return on investment. That's Percy Madiba. He encourages people to go and take out bank loans and even gives them strategies and manners of approach.
Now, sometimes you need to do or use what you call OPM, other people's money. And currently, I cannot borrow you 100,000. Your friends cannot borrow you 100,000. So people that can borrow this money is banks. If you don't have it, so then I will now encourage you. This is an advice. I encourage you. On Monday, you go to the bank and say, "Mr. Banker." No, this is serious. I'm telling you, we've done it. We've done it. And when we are doing it, we're not doing it with QZM. We're doing it with normal elite, which is going to give you back your money in 4 months. But now with QZM, it's even easier. Now what you do, you go and get the money from the bank. If the bank will give you 100,000, you come and invest into QZ. Every week you pay Mr. Banker 10,000. In 10 weeks, your loan is almost complete because you are killing off interest, because interest is charged per annum.
Those are the kind of stories that are told and sold to the people of South Africa, the rest of Africa, and Latin America. Not just faces on a screen, but real people living an honest living right here in South Africa.
You want to know
How do you feel about it?
No, I'm not happy, man.
Why?
Come on, where's my money? But anyway, you talked about delays, and when the delays happened, I actually sent in a message to support customer care, right? Hoping that I would get a response to say, no, we had a technical issue or something, you know. But there's no customer care over there, man. There's no support. Like, you don't get anything from the company. You don't get any correspondence. They ghost you.
They ghost.
You give them money and then they delay to pay you and then they ghost you.
I know for one, I didn't make much money in QZ because the money that I made, I put it back in the system, buying more platinum, more QZMs, packages, thinking that I want to create something that will pay me monthly.
The dual benefits. Zero loss. QZ Asset Management will match your investments dollar for dollar, effectively doubling your assets under management. This new enlarged AUM is also known as Dual AUM, DAUM. All BDAI trades are executed with DAUM, effectively doubling all profits. Now, as a trader, this is what bothers me the most. Sound familiar? Zero loss. With a maximum stop loss of 50%, DAUM ensures that your capital is 100% protected in the event of any trading mishap. It should look something like this. Another thing that bothers me as a trader, 50% stop loss? What does that even mean? Was the BDAI software, which trades on their supposed platform, which by the way is in fact not their platform, but it belongs to TradingView. TradingView is a charting platform and social network used by 50 million plus investors and traders worldwide to spot opportunities on global markets. Either way, QZ Asset Management slapped their name onto an existing platform with no actual functionalities. Now, as an experienced trader, I know which flags to look out for, and this is just another huge red flag. QZ Asset Management like to refer to their strongest driving force as the BDAI technology that they've developed. Introducing the broker program. According to QZ Asset Management, this is a dual income stream. Now, there are two parts to this, but this one was the one she was sold, which is the affiliate bonus. So the requirement for this is that she recommends a client to start a relationship with QZ Asset Management, and the benefit would be that she gets 10% of the client's AUM. But as usual, they explain it best. And with this option, she gets paid week after week after week. Don't worry, it gets even more confusing. So you see, this is where all the money is supposedly coming from. Another thing, in February 2023, QZ Asset Management announced that they have applied with the NASDAQ Stock Exchange to get their IPO and company listed. What is an IPO? An IPO, which stands for the initial public offering, is when a private company becomes public by selling its shares on a stock exchange. Private companies work with investment banks to get their shares public, which requires a regulatory due diligence and extensive amounts of marketing. Now let's check out their NASDAQ IPO timeline. Now in November 2022, they claim to have an IPO planning and due diligence. They appointed IPO professionals, and then they commenced financial audit for FY 2021 and 2022. This, ladies and gentlemen, would mean the financial year of 2021 into 2022, and then they began prospectus drafting and due diligence. And then January 2023, they had a private placement, and then they had 100 million at $1, and then finally the institutionals. In February 2023, they had their IPO application submission. So then they started with the first SEC filing, SEC review and comments, second filing and public filing. And then February into May 2023, they had planned to have a pre-IPO private placement, start with phase 1 and phase 2. And then in June, they plan to have their marketing and SEC approval. Really? Market research and consultation, investor meetings and road shows, the SEC final approval, book and building and price determination. And finally, in August, they would have received their IPO. Now, we all know that this is extremely unrealistic. And let's find out why. But wait, what is NASDAQ? And what are the requirements to be listed? Well, the National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotations, also known as NASDAQ Stock Market, or simply NASDAQ, is the second largest in the world and opened in 1971 on the 8th of February, providing automated information about stock prices that investors could use to trade stocks on other exchanges. Eventually, the NASDAQ became the world's first electronic stock market, taking over trading for many stocks that have been previously traded in places other than formal stocks exchange. Now, NASDAQ has formal listing requirements that companies have to meet in order to list their shares on its stock exchange. The NASDAQ has become the largest global exchange to rely solely on electronic trading. Now, any foreign company that is not registered in the USA must apply and register with the SEC before getting listed on NASDAQ. Now, as I stated earlier on, QZ Asset Management has already sent out their application with the SEC and are waiting for approval. But what is the SEC? Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, an independent federal government regulatory agency responsible for protecting investors, maintaining fair and orderly functioning of securities markets, and facilitating capital information. The SEC is the most strict regulatory board which bulldozes against money laundering tactics, financial abuse, and all-round financial crimes. The director, his name is Gary Gensler, and he has been demolishing companies that have any attempt of the above. Now, with this timeline and this shady business model that QZ Asset Management has in place is unfortunately flourishing, as they have already received so much attention from the African market as their target. QZ Asset Management is growing, and people who are, or rather should I say people who were able to cash out their profits, are choosing to reinvest, and who wouldn't? They claim that they will be reinstating their withdrawals, which they've stopped about 3 weeks ago. I can see why a lot of people feel as though they're missing out. There's a lot of investors who felt as though they missed out on the Bitcoin boat, which was a huge success. So in a lot of these schemes, they offer a solution to these people, and that's how the scam really operates. Now, their business model is a little bit difficult to explain because not only are they a Ponzi scheme, but they're a pyramid scheme as well. Here's an explanation of how these two actually work. Both pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes involve unscrupulous investors taking advantage of unsuspecting individuals by promising them extraordinary returns in exchange for their money. With Ponzi schemes, investors give money to a portfolio manager. Then, when they want their money back, they are paid out with the incoming funds contributed by later investors. With a pyramid scheme, the initial schemer recruits other investors who in turn recruit other investors and so on. Later joining investors pay the person who recruited them for the right to participate or perhaps sell a certain product. Now, as I've explained the business models of QZ Asset Management, they also offer risk-free interest. Now, there's no legitimate business on earth that will be able to pay this interest rate to its customers risk-free, plus another 400%. There's also no trading bot that can guarantee profits. So with the claims of unrealistic returns, QZ Asset Management was bound to be short-lived, and the results? Death threats. Finger pointing. Even fatalities. Because people want to know, where is their money? Now, as a trader, the stock market and the currency market is tainted as it is, and these kind of situations caused by greed makes matters even worse for us professionals trying to bring back credibility into the industry. Now, I'm no financial advisor, but I will always advise you to do extensive research and due diligence on any investment you make. And most importantly, only take information from someone who's had a positive history in that specific industry. Because honestly, why would you take advice or information from someone who has never traded a day in their life? So be careful of Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes, because now you know better. And as always, happy trading!
Abamazio,